Alright, what is up, guys? As I said, we're going to be going over what happened in RLCS League Play Week 1. I'll be giving you guys some insight as to what's probably going to happen in the future with a lot of these teams. Talk about who looked good, who didn't look good, and it was actually a really interesting Week 1. Really fun to watch. We'll start with NA, and then we'll do Europe at the end, like halfway through. If you guys just want to skip to that, whatever you're here for. So just want to throw this out there before we start. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I mean, you guys have been showing a lot of support on the channel recently, which has been awesome. I'm a pretty small channel, but like all of a sudden people have just kind of like started subbing, which is, I don't know, it's been all out of the blue, so I appreciate it. Alright, and without further ado, let's start talking about the first match. So, PK versus Flight. A lot of things to say about this. So first off, I said in my predictions video that I thought PK was going to win, but I thought that they were going to be a worse team now that they have AJ instead of Mist, because I said I thought Mist was better, worked better with the team, and gosh, was I right. I didn't think PK would look this bad. They pulled it together in the end, but they had a reverse sweep Flight. Now let me tell you, Flight played out of their fucking mind. Flight played amazing. I feel like Flight could have beaten almost any team the way they were playing. So Rapid and Seabass, an amazing duo. If you guys are wondering who the players to look out for on Flight are, Rapid is like the mechanical genius, and Seabass, he just works so well with Rapid. The way they maneuver the ball around the field was actually just incredible. Like PK, I don't have too many great things to say. Like when they started pulling it back, they didn't look great. Like Flight was just working so much more cohesively as a team. PK winning was actually kind of a surprise to a lot of people, just the way they were playing. So they definitely have to figure something out going forward, because if PK continued to play the way they did, I could see them in the bottom 4, maybe bottom 6, bottom 4 of North America easily with the way they performed. Next match, NRG versus Sonic. Wow, Garrett G said on his stream that NRG has been looking shaky, but wow, I didn't think he meant this bad. I mean, it's so hard to tell how good NRG are playing and how good Sonics are playing, because let's put it this way. Sonics is the first team in RLCS history to win a game with 0 shots on goal. 0. Turbo Pulsa had a nuts rebound own goal to start off the game, and then they dominated the rest of the game but couldn't score. It was so weird to watch them play. And then Justin own goaled again in a later game, and that's how they lost another game. They lost 2 games based off of own goals. So it's like, obviously, when you think about it, if they don't own goal, they sweep Sonic, probably. But the fact that they did, it was such a close game, and they almost lost. I don't think NRG is playing that bad. I think it really was just a shaky game. It's not like PK where they were just looking awful. NRG was just making mistakes that it's like, okay, you definitely are having an off week versus, okay, you guys just don't play well together. You know what I mean? NRG, it really just looks like they got to stop own goaling. I mean, they got to stop doing that. It was actually a funny match to watch. But credit to Sonics. Who's the one player? Shock. If you guys are looking for like kind of who to look out for on Sonic, but trust me, there's a really good player on Sonic, and his name is Shock. He was like a defensive genius as well as an offensive genius. He basically single-handedly dismantled NRG in some moments. Saved everything. Like, there's certain moments where you're like, oh, that's a goal, no doubt about it. And Shock just comes out of nowhere like a fucking angel from heaven. So yeah, credit to Shock. His teammates though, they Dapper and Sathu, not the best performance from them. I would like to see them play a little bit better, because Shock can't do everything. It's like watching G2 back in Season 5, back when JNAPS carried Kernovi and Rizzo. Let's move on. E United versus Cloud9. Look, I know I'm going to trigger some C9 fans, but Cloud9's looking like auto-relegation, not even promotion relegation tournament. That was probably the worst game of Rocket League I've seen in a long time by Cloud9. Cloud9, they have one more chance. I'll be completely honest. They have one more chance. It's just, I don't have a lot of words for Cloud9. That was just such a poor performance. Like, the game was boring to watch. Like, don't get me wrong, it was not a fun game to watch. There was one moment of the game that was fun, and it was because Ajax on United hit a pretty nuts shot. Or it wasn't even that nuts. It was just really speedy. He got up to the ball at like max speed, hit a cool rebound. That was it. I mean, yeah, Cloud9 looked pathetic. They need to fix a lot. There's not just one thing Cloud9 needs to fix. It's a lot. It looks like they just don't know how to work as a team. Like they were not working as a team. It was like putting a bunch of low grand champs in Rlcs, just players who aren't quite there, cannot keep up with the speed. Cloud9 were completely outpaced, outclassed every step of the way. And no one can argue that because it's true. Just go back and watch the games. There wasn't a single second in the game where you felt like Cloud9 could compete with United. So where does that leave United? Is United good? Are they bad? Again, a lot of question marks on United, because if Cloud9's really going to keep playing this bad, well, it's a free win for any team, so we don't know how good United really is. But yeah, Cloud9, you got to fix a lot fast. You have 8 weeks to do it. You might as well do it sooner than later. I mean, that's not a good performance. Space Station Gaming versus Ghost Gaming. Now, I want to say this before we go any further. Ghost Gaming, it did look great, but Space Station Gaming looked so fucking incredible. I understand why all the pros power rankings had Space Station Gaming up there at number 2. They looked great. Just all around great Rocket League. Very few mistakes coming out. The cohesion was there. Arsenal and Sipical. Sipical really popped off. Sipical and Arsenal, the two guys to look out for. And then on Ghost Gaming, Illusion. Illusion did it really well. He had that insane midair bump to open up the net. Like he had a midair bump near the ceiling. He went all the way up, thirsting for that demo. But yeah, Ghost Gaming played well. Atomic popped off. Mist actually played really well. Yeah, Ghost Gaming did play well. Space Station Gaming, though, it's just the way they were playing, it did not look like you could beat them. And now the last match of the day. The general consensus with this is you don't know how good Rogue is yet. We really don't have a good idea of how good Rogue is because G2 played some of the best Rocket League ever. It was like a completely different team than we ever seen. Like better than Season 7 Grand Finals G2 they were playing. They were playing just so unprecedented. It was like Chicago and Rizzo were playing like how they did in the Grand Finals in Season 7, but then JNaps was playing like the best player in the world to make that roster even better. Just such a fun match to watch. I'll say this, First Killer looked great. A lot of people want to know how Rogue actually looked and how I think they're going to play. I think that they're actually going to play well if they can work more together as a team. And I'll tell you the main problem with Rogue. I'll tell you the biggest problem with Rogue. So it seems like they're trying to revolve their roster around First Killer, which, you know, he's the mechanical genius on the team, and that's what teams do. It's like how Energy revolves around Justin. He makes the plays, sets up the opportunities. But First Killer's mechanics, it seems, are so high and so good that his teammates actually can't keep up. It's weird to say. Like, First Killer created openings, but his teammates were never ready. Kronovi and Wonder just were never ready. Let me tell you guys, First Killer did some insane stuff. He was setting himself up off the ceiling at immense speeds. He was doing ceiling pinches to get it past 2 defenders on G2, and it looked scary, but no one was pushed up with First Killer. It's almost as if his teammates aren't trusting his mechanical abilities, which is scary because it doesn't matter if you think First Killer is going to get beat. In threes, you can send up that extra man and probably not get punished for it. It also seems like just basic rotation misplays coming in from Kronovi and Wonder. And actually, I think it's a lot of Wonder. Wonder did not play well at all. He had some whiffs. He had some passes to G2 that ended up in goals. Wonder played awful. Kronovi played, you know, decent. I mean, just as we'd expect Kronovi to play. Nothing bad to say about how he played. I think First Killer played lights out. It's just they did not play as a team. And that's what Rogue needs to fix. But now here's where it gets kind of complicated. It's hard to tell if that's really the problem because G2 is playing like the best team in the world. Like if I had to power rank these teams right now, G2 would be number 1 above SSG. Based off of what we saw in week 1. Energy looked pretty scuffed. I'd put them below Space Station at number 3 just for performance this week. Obviously, Energy's probably going to come back and play lights out, unheard of Rocket League. So, but I really would put G2 at number 1 in NA, watching how they played. SSG and G2 looking like the 2 best if NRG can't fix their mistakes, what's going on. It's just like NRG just having misreads off the backboard, just stuff you wouldn't expect a high-level grand champ, a pro player to be misreading. So maybe it also comes down to a little bit of team synergy. Garrett G said on his stream that he said that they actually don't know what they have to work on yet. They're a little bit unsure as to why they're going so wrong in games and in scrims, and they're going to need to look at a lot of replays just to figure out what it is that's wrong in their gameplay before they can even start to fix it. So Energy's got probably a couple weeks, judging from what Garrett G said, before they're back in form. Yeah, so that's North America. All right, Europe, let's get it. Reciprocity versus Singularity. God. So, remember I said last season I thought Shawzet was the best player in the world. I thought if Shawzet was on, Reciprocity would win LAN, and then Shawzet played like garbage, and I don't even think they made day 3. Just awful performance. And then today, Shawzet plays like an insane player. He's 1v3ing Singularity. 1v3s them. Farah also played out of his mind. It's Shawzet and Farah, for those who like to watch EU as well. Shawzet and Farah, great players. They were looking amazing. But yeah, so I've got a lot of question marks on Reciprocity because it's, will they continue this consistency? Will they consistently play well? Have they fixed their inconsistencies from last season, right? And then Team Singularity, for a team that everyone thought was in the bottom, they actually played decent. I got to give it to them. They definitely didn't play on Reciprocity's level. Definitely not on those top 4 teams. I don't think they have a chance at Worlds, but they definitely have a chance of missing the relegation tournament, staying in the RLCS. Definitely, if they keep playing that way. And same with Endpoint. They Relating Wave, Virtuoso, and Nachitao. I think a lot of these European teams are very close. I think that the skill gap between number 10 in NA and number 1 in NA is much closer when it comes to Europe, right? So I think that all these teams really do have a chance, and it's gonna be a very interesting season to see who falls short and who makes it. Remember, last season, who is the team? I think it was Barcelona. If they won a game, they auto-qualified for Worlds. If they lost a game, they were in the promotion tournament. That's how close all the standings were in Europe. And I think it was Barcelona. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they just won a game, they auto-qualified. They had no chance at all of making playoffs, right? Just because it was so close. One win puts them over, one loss puts them under. So I think Europe's going to be a very scary finale this season. I could definitely say that. Vitality looked great, but KDOP and Alpha 54 look like a great duo up front. KDOP's still looking lights out. It's crazy. KDOP looks amazing every season. There's never a single season KDOP doesn't look like one of the best players in the world. I don't know how he does it. But Alpha 54, I think the team was better with Scrub. But I mean, everyone knew that. Scrub's probably the second best player in the world. Maybe third best player in the world. Things are kind of changing right now. A lot of people are starting to show up this season. But yeah, Scrub is like easily best player in Europe. Definitely not the right move. After week 1, you can say with certainty that they should have kept Scrub. But they didn't, and we're going to see how it goes. Barcelona versus Veloce. Flakes actually didn't play bad. A lot of people thought that Flakes was not a good asset to the team. Flakes played really well. It was a close match. Veloce showed that they are here to play. It was just an overall decent game. Not a lot to say. Veloce didn't win based on luck. Flakes also played in the Scarab, so it was really funny watching that. Flakes is kind of a funny character. It really makes you want to root for him just because he's so different, so unique. So I think that Barcelona's really got that going for them. Flakes has that. And since he's such a popular streamer, he's got a lot of fans. I think that's actually really good for Barcelona to get fans on their side. I don't think it was they play any better or worse without Bluey, but judging from what we've seen already from them. But yeah, I think that they're just going to be around the same team that they were last season. TSM versus Dig. God, somehow TSM played better without Alpha. I don't think anyone on the TSM played particularly well. I say they played better than last season. That's not saying much. They were dog shit last season. Dignitas needs to figure stuff out. Main problems with Dignitas was they just weren't able to create any chances. You didn't feel like Dig had a lot of chances. A lot of good chances. Like any chance that they had was like, wow, how did you score that? You know what I mean? Not an AS Monaco versus Mouse. God, Scrubkilla and Cookser. Wow, just an amazing duo to watch. Guys, watch Mouse games. Mouse games are fun to watch. Just Scrub the mechanical god, setting up Cookser. Scrub was 1v3, tanking people in mid-air from his back wall, carrying it across. he had some amazing plays. He had some insane plays. Scrubkilla played just like a fucking Rocket League genius. And AS Monaco, credit to them for taking a win. I don't think they were anything special. I think they got their asses handed to them by Maus. Yeah, again, I try to keep Europe a little bit shorter. Yeah, I cut that down to like 7 minutes. That was half as long as I took on North America, just because I'm trying to get through these. It sucks. I love talking about this stuff, and then I feel like I don't want to make a 30-minute video, so I try to rush it a little. Although I am a lot more passionate about NA, just because a lot of the, let's be fair, a lot of the teams that you like to watch more are in NA, and this is also something I want to talk about. Not to say that we don't like watching Europe. I love watching Europe, but let's look at the rosters. We love watching Scrubkilla. Cookser's a legend. Everyone loves him. Violent Panda's kind of a big name, you know. Dignitas, they played really well, so people like to watch Dignitas. K-Dot, Fairy Peak. But then all these other names, people like Flakes, but Ronicky, Devo, I mean, they're decent. They don't have as many fans. Who the hell are these guys? Who the hell are these guys? Who the hell? Like, no one cares about so many of these teams. Shawzette and Farah and Fruity's been around for a while, but they don't have nearly as many fans as players like Scrubkilla and maybe the Dig roster. Dig also, just them being Dignitas, people love to watch Dignitas because they're a staple in the esports community. But then we go over to North America. We got Pittsburgh Knights, who gained so many fans for upsetting all these big teams and winning a tourney. Rogue has Kronovi and First Killer on it. People love First Killer from Johnny Boy streams. Kronovi's the biggest staple in Rocket League history. Cloud9, nothing to be said about Cloud9. It's Cloud9. NRG, same thing. It's NRG. The big names. G2. It's G2. Not only is it G2, but they got Rizzo. They got the Knapsack on their team. People love them. Oh yeah, and Squishy Muffins, Justin, Garrett, and Turbo. Like, and Space Station has been coming up in a storm. People love watching these teams. And Ghost Gaming has the mechanical god Atomic, which, you know, it's not that much to bring in fans per se, but there's just a lot more going for North America. Oh, and Flight, even with Flight, Rapid, people watch Seabass and Rapid play with Lethamir on Lethamir's YouTube channel, so they already got clout going into this season. I think the problem is that Europe doesn't have as many content creators to show off maybe their personalities, and when you feel like you're connected to a personality, that brings in fans to a team and players in general. Like, people love Rizzo. People would not like Rizzo as much as they do if he wasn't one of the biggest content creators in Rocket League. Justin Garrett G stream, Turbo Pulsa, he's the GOAT. I mean, he's the fucking GOAT. And then Sizz backs him up. I mean, I just kind of want to go on a rant that North America just is more fun to watch because you have all these players that you love watching. Again, not because I know I'm gonna, some idiot in the comments is gonna say, oh, you think that Europe's just not fun to watch? No, I never said that. I said that it's less fun to watch because there are less players that you want to see do well. There's just less people you care about. Like, this whole bottom row of teams, no one gives a fuck about. No one gives a shit about half the teams in Europe. While in North America, almost every team has that one player that people want to see do well because they feel connected with them in a way. Also, Lethamir is the coach for Mouse Sports, so, like, everyone loves Lethamir. He's Lethamir. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Fuck, now the video is 25 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it down, probably like 20 minutes, so it won't be too bad. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. As far as predictions go, I'll come out with another video, because I don't feel like making this video 40 minutes long. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Also, either the following video after this is going to be a top 10 goals of RLCS. That one's actually going to be kind of funny. I'm adding just a funny twist to it. Top 10 goals of League Play Week 1, so check that out. I'm hoping I'll make you guys laugh. I'm trying. But it's going to be some good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm covering all things Rocket League, all things RLCS on this channel, all things esports. I'd love to have you guys there. I'd love to have you guys along for the journey. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.